Welcome back to Mustache Moto. It's Ben, and today we're going to talk about motorcycle oil. Okay, I know this is hard to believe, but motorcycle oil might be one of the most controversial things you can talk about with motorcycles. I mean, it's crazy, but if you go on any of the forums or any of the Facebook groups, you'd be amazed at the vitriol that comes out when you start asking questions about oil or giving your opinion on oil. So, today we're going to talk about a couple of things. I'm going to show you how to check the oil on your motorcycle in case you don't already know. And then we're going to talk about motorcycle oil, mainly what motorcycle oil you should never use because it could absolutely destroy your clutch. All right, let's dive in. All right, there's a ton of different kind of engine oils that you could put in your motorcycle, and we'll go through a couple of them or what to look for. The biggest thing is what not to put in your motorcycle. Okay, if it's not a motorcycle specific oil, if it's a car oil, you want to look and you want to make sure it doesn't have, there's a little circle on the back of all car oils, and it's got information about the type of oil. Okay, what you want to make sure it does not have in the bottom, you do not want it to say resource conserving or energy conserving. If it says that, you do not ever want to put it in your motorcycle. Here's why. Your motorcycle clutch is bathed in oil. Almost all motorcycles. There's some Ducatis and a few older BMWs that don't have a wet clutch, but almost all motorcycles have a wet clutch. That oil is used to keep the clutch moving smoothly and to keep it from burning out and getting too hot. The problem is that energy conserving oil or resource conserving oil has friction modifiers that are super slick. And what that's going to do is going to make your clutch start to slip. Now, if you put it in and you catch it quickly, you can probably just flush it out, maybe with an extra change of oil, and you'll be all right. But if you've ridden a while on that with the slipping clutch, you could have glazed your clutch plates, you could have burned them up, you might have to replace the entire clutch. So don't ever use it. Don't want to use that one. Let's get rid of that. We don't even want to see it. So the best bet is to go with the motorcycle specific oil, and especially the oil that's listed in your motorcycle's manual. Now on my BMW, it specifically calls for a JASOMA2. That's a certification on motorcycle oils, and it's certified, that's what they want. It's the kind of motorcycle oil it needs, and that'll keep the clutch going good and everything working fine. Of course, that's a pretty high performance engine. If you got an older bike, something like my DR650 here, you don't need that quality of oil. You can get away with the car oil, and then this is also a good tip if you ever, you're low and you've got limited choices of what you can buy. You just need to add a little oil to get your bike home. If you go for a 10W40 automotive oil, if you look on the back, it doesn't say energy conserving or energy saving. It says SN+. So this does not have the friction modifiers. So in a pinch, a 10W40 oil will work. I use that in my DR650. Another great oil that a lot of people use is Shell Rotella. It's a diesel oil and it doesn't have those friction modifiers in it. Now, let me put this out there. Engine oil is one of the most controversial things you can talk about, especially online. So, if you want to blow up a forum, tell them you're going to put whatever oil in your bike, and you'll have 1,000 opinions of yes, no, you're going to destroy your bike, everything's going to be fine, it doesn't matter. You know what? Do that at your own risk. The other thing with motorcycles, the opinion a lot of people have, and you'll see this on forums a lot, is people will change their oil twice as often as the motorcycle manufacturer recommends, or 3 times as often. You really don't need to. Follow the directions in the motorcycle manual. If you don't have one, Google it. You'll find it online. It'll tell you how often to change the oil. And generally, the filter changes every other oil change. But it'll all be spelled out in the manual. Just look in there. It'll also tell you if there's a specific type of oil you need to put in the bike. Otherwise, you should be good to go. The other really important thing to know on your motorcycle is how do you check the oil level? And it's a little different than a car. Car, you've got a dipstick, right? You pull that out and you see the level of the oil on it. On the bike, you've got a sight glass. So first things first, you know, obviously, like I said, check your manual if you can get a hold of one, or you get a hold of one online. It'll give you an exact procedure for your bike. But most bikes, the way you do it is you ride the bike until it's warm. That's the fun part. Get out, have some fun on your bike. While the engine's hot, park your bike on a level surface, let it sit for a couple of minutes. Doesn't have to be a long time, but you want to give a chance for that oil to drain down out of the engine and go into the oil pan. When that happens, you're going to take your bike and you're going to move it upright. You want it to be vertical. So you're going to be down looking at the sight glass while it's vertical. If you're not comfortable holding it up by yourself and balancing it while you look, get a friend to hold it for you. I wouldn't put it on a track stand or a center stand unless the bike manual calls for that, because that's going to adjust, it's going to change how the bike is sitting, and that's going to change the oil level a little bit. So let's see what it looks like. All right, here's the sight glass on my DR650. It's on the right side, low on the engine, and I think every bike I've ever had has had the sight glass on the right side. So I don't know if all bikes are like that, but it seems a lot of them are. You see a mark, there's a line on the bottom that's marked L, and on the top that's marked F. Low and full, you want to have the oil somewhere in between those marks. You can see right now the glass, you can see no oil in it. You see all the way through to the metal on the other side because it's on its side stand. So let's go ahead and put the bike vertical. Okay, so that's vertical right there. And you can see the oil is about at the low mark, maybe a little above it. I could probably stand to add a little bit of oil to the bike. If I lean it further towards me, you can see, you know, it raises that oil level up substantially. So it's really sensitive to how vertical you have the bike. All right, this is my BMW. You can see instead of having two lines, a low and a full, it's got a circle, and the oil needs to be somewhere within that circle. If it's below the bottom, you're too low. If it's above the top, you're too full. Now, I want to really tell you how important it is to follow the directions for your bike, because if you were to look at this sight glass while the bike is running, you'd think it was totally out of oil because that oil's in circulation. I'm going to fire the bike up so you can see what I mean. Look, the oil's totally gone. So you got to make sure you follow the directions on the bike. And it takes 5 minutes about for that oil to kind of slowly flow back down into the oil pan so you can get an accurate reading. Now you know what to do. Check your oil level, top it up with the right stuff if you need to, and get out there and ride.